Hello everyone, my name is Joshmus Prime and I'm back with another Minecraft update idea, and this one is all about the end, and this one might be kind of long. This is kind of an undertaking. I've got some new mobs, new biome ideas, and uh, new sounds for those mobs, as well as some new music I'll be cutting in and out. So yeah, I guess let's get into it. But yeah, this is my third or fourth time trying to record this. I keep running into an audio glitch, but anyways, so first biome would be the Golgen, and this would just be a really colorful bit within the end, and it would kind of be like a safe harbor when you're going through the end looking for entities and stuff. If you found this, hang on, let's drink our night vision potion because I can see a little bit better. But it would be kind of a safe harbor because there'd be wet sponges scattered about so the Enderman wouldn't come in here. Maybe there'd be pools of water, I'm not sure, but I kind of like the wet sponge idea, just another way to get sponges. And even in this little area I terraformed, the wet sponges, like there's only like 10, 14 of them. They don't even have to be that frequent, but it'd just be like a place you could actually set up and not have to worry so much about the Enderman coming in. But also, yeah, let's get to the actual things within the biome. These are, I don't have a name for them. If you guys have names for anything, because I really haven't named anything as far as plant life. Some of the mobs I have, but these are just tripod trees, and the way that, or at least sort of the lore of these, is that they start out as this little seedling, and then roots sprout out of them and into the ground, and then slowly lift them up. Sort of in my first video, the Hermitcraft Forest, the Doc M's tree, the goatwood, kind of that same concept. And I don't think it'd be an actual game mechanic. I think it'd just be a variance that show that, but it makes for interesting look and interesting lore. If yeah, they just kind of sprout out these three legs and then pushes up, and this would be a new on top of here. I kind of use a combination of different blues, but a new type of blue leaf block. But yeah, those are the tripod trees. I also thought these are more nether looking, but I did it mostly for the color. So maybe there could be another, again, a new type of block there. I'm not sure. But yeah, this whole thing is just supposed to look really alien and different. But anyways, let's get on to our first mob, which is right here, the Ender Beast, or the Wild Brood. And although it looks kind of menacing and kind of derpy, I think the two things that make a good Minecraft mob are derp and functionality. This one I don't really know what it would actually do, but it would be a plant eater. So it'd either be neutral or passive. Maybe it'd be neutral, so if you attacked it, it would attack back, but it would just, I'm thinking like it would lower its horns and headbutt you and then run away. Like it'd have knockback 2 or something when it hit you, and then it would just scurry away. Kind of an interesting, different game mechanic, but this is one of the mobs I have sounds for, so I'll put that in here. And I'm not sure if they're done yet, but yeah, that's the Ender Beast, or Wild Brood, or a better name you guys can come up with. But yeah, you can see these tripod trees, they just little seedling pods, and they slowly, these would be just different variants. It kind of adds to the lore of Minecraft without actually just giving it a new, what would you call it? Not structure, a new design, I don't know. But anyways, further down here, further down here we have the Jump Mudge. And much like the Golgen, where we came in, that sign, that's just the letters of jungle rearranged. The Jump Mudge is just jump and then same thing but backwards. So if you read it from this way, it's jump. If you read it this way, it's jump. So this one I don't really have both this one and the Ender Beast. I just started placing armor stands. It was very different. There wasn't really an idea. This one kind of ended up as like this spider frog hybrid. I don't know what it would drop. I don't know what that would drop, but both these just kind of came out of idea of making something weird, so I just started placing armor stands and went with it. So that, yeah, no drops or no function really given with either of them, but I don't know, it's just, again, kind of more atmospheric, I guess would be the word. Kind of build in this, maybe you could feed this some of these roots or something, new type of root, or they'd eat something specific and they could be like a end pet, like warn of danger, I don't know. But anyways, so that's that. Okay, I gotta remember how to get here. Here we are. And this I thought of, this is the Endmonger. And just going by the word monger, oops, oh no. We'll fix that real quick. Oops, I'm not saying. What do I need? There we go. Quickly. Okay, good. Yeah, so the Endmonger. And this would be specific to this biome. It would be, I'm thinking more like a transparent kind of thing. So I kind of went with this and just added smoke particles. I'm not really sure how to capture what I was thinking with this one, but this would sort of be a wandering trader of the end. But like the word monger means a tradesman, a very specific thing. And so he would only accept these void essence, which I'll explain where we get those further down the line. But yeah, I thought I had this idea because the wandering tradesman always goes invisible at night. And I thought it'd be cool if you found this forest in the end and then you drink a night vision potion. This is another reason I also drank this. You could only see him with night vision. And there'd only be one in a biome, or maybe not even. But his trades would be kind of, end stuff. Dragon's Breath would be a rarer trade. It'd just be different numbers of this void essence. Endergoo, I like this as a concept, but I don't know what it would be. Like kind of a slime or a honey block, but rather than sticking or bouncing things, maybe you'd throw something on there and it'd teleport it to another one. Just a cool in-game mechanic. Also a way to fast transport things, like from here to the overworld. Once you load it up, then it falls. I don't know. I really don't know how to make it work, but that's just the Endergoo. But he would also have these, Voidwalker, which these will be important in just a bit, and Gilded Blackstone. Now the Gilded Blackstone, I know it's rarer than Netherite, I think. Might be the rarest block in the game. And I don't think this is too OP, because he would trade a limited amount, just like the Wandering Trader. And you'd have to find this biome in the end, find him with night vision, and he wouldn't always be trading it either. So it'd be, couldn't really make a farm of it, but you could, it'd be a way to at least sort of, I don't know, why am I in my menu? But it'd be a way to sort of make that work. Anyways, let's get rid of the night vision. Yeah, both the shield and the boots that the Voidwalker boots are for the very next biome, and the shield will be for the biome after that. But so the next biome are these, the Ghost Islands. And these you need, you could fly out here with your Elytra, but it would be kind of pointless because without Voidwalker, you would just fall right through this. These used to be like clouds, and maybe the Voidwalker boots could even work on clouds in the overworld, but these essentially are like, ghost islands. But here, this guy here is a Void Slug, and this would be a new mob you could saddle and ride around either here or you could bring it for like further. You could probably lead it, put it on a lead too, attach it to a fence post or something. But kind of like the way this one came out. It went through several redesigns, and this was one, unlike the ones in there, I actually had a full concept of what I wanted. It was just finding the right block palette, and that's why I kind of limited. This was, I don't know, third or fourth redesign, so I was just like tired of putting in these whatchamacallits, armor stand stuff and moving it around. But yeah, you could saddle it. It would be kind of like, I mean, you could go up, down, left, and right, so it'd be faster than a horse, but maybe not as quite as fast as a boat. I don't know what a good speed for this would be, but it'd be a good way to get around, especially these. If you don't have the Voidwalker boots, you could still land and try to, with your Elytra, throw a saddle on, swing back around, and shift and land on it. But there'd also be these. There used to be a new type of tree that would grow up and into the Ghost Islands. And I don't have a name for this really either. This is kind of just a cosmetic thing I had thought of. I was basically done with this biome. I kind of wanted to keep it empty, and then I was like, oh, what about trees growing upside down and into the island? And then, yeah, so it's basically what these are. But it's a cool new eerie concept for the end, but also provides a new means of transportation. And those are the Ghost Islands. That was the Golgen. And now, so the Golgen is supposed to be like safe harbor and all that, right? I was saying. Well, this one, the Woebegone Forest, is exactly the opposite. I'll explain more as we get in, but basically, this, if you saw it there, the Shield of the Unseen. Let's take a look at it here. It has these little markings on it, and it's enchanted. You could only get this from the Endmonger. And you don't necessarily need it to go through here, but it would help out a lot due to one of the mobs. But this would be everything is hostile, or not everything, but it would just be a harder biome to get through. And I kind of wish, in hindsight, I would have switched these trees with those ones, but this is the only thing I kind of named the Fibonacci tree, because I built it based on the Fibonacci sequence. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. They come out in like this cool spiral thing, especially if you're looking down from the top, and then at the end, the leaves always pour down the ground. So I think that'd be a really easy, what would you call it? Like a way that would program different variants of trees. You just follow that sequence. But so there's those. This don't really have a name for it. Kind of a dead-looking umbrella tree, maybe. Dead umbrella. Let's see, how do you rearrange umbrella? Ellerbum? The Ellerbum tree? And there'd also be these things here, these chained mushroom blobs. I originally had a mushroom stalk, that's why I keep thinking they're like a mushroom instead of chains, but chain bulbs or something inside there. Maybe that's where you get more ender goo from. But yeah, so, but anyways, back to why this oh man, this biome would be so hostile. There would be more Endermen that spawn in here, and while normally you could just like kind of look down or look up so you don't, you know, make eye contact with them, the next mob you have to be careful of, and that's this one here, the Endomorph. And this is based straight out of Aliens. I give it a serpentine body, but I tried to create like the aliens from the Aliens movies. That's supposed to be like a second mouth. But yeah, this thing would, kind of going with the skulk sensor, it'd detect you by sight or by hearing, or maybe it'd just detect you if you didn't have this shield. Like this shield is the only way this thing doesn't notice you. And this would be fast, like like a guardian in the water or something like that. It'll hit you. It'd do knockback damage too. I'll pause here for a second and play some of the scary sounds that I came up with for this. and I'm not sure if they've played yet, but yeah, it's supposed to be a much more terrifying experience when you come across this. But so you couldn't just run through here looking at the ground because you got to watch out for these things. I mean, I guess if you have your shield, you could still do that, but I mean, it's a very inhospitable area, and I don't know. There has to be something in here where that's worth it, I would think. Because this wouldn't be a boss, it'd just be a tough animal. Like, you could take it on one-on-one. It'd just be tough because of how fast they are and whatnot. But anyways, moving on, if you guys had an idea for a loot, maybe there would be some rune stones, or where they come up later, but maybe there would be some of these in here that you break and you get void essence. Anyways, let's keep going to the last mob and the end of this here biome. This is the Enderdew. This is one kind of like the Endomorph. I actually had like the whole idea for these compared to the Ender Beast and the Jump Mudge. Those were just throwing arm stands together till I found something I like. These two I actually had like the whole thing thought out how I liked. I have these in here for the particle effect, but I changed my mind on it. But the Enderdew, this would be, again, this would add to how hard it is to get through here, because this thing, it would hit you, it wouldn't do much damage, but it'd give you slowness for like a little bit. So if you had slowness going on, you're trying to avoid endermorphs and trying not to look at endermen, just that combination would make this just a treacherous route to take. So I guess, yeah, maybe the Enderdew up here would be really worth it. You can make a farm out of it somehow, or there'd be something else in here. But yeah, that's the Enderdew, and I just kind of like the way that sounded, so that's why I never bothered coming up with much more of a different name. But so yeah, the Endomorph, more Enderman, the Enderdew, it just makes this whole area really, really hostile to get through. But that's it for those. So now we're on to, this is a new structure idea. And this is based on, it's just, I'm just calling it the Ender Barn. It'd be kind of a broken, and then it looks like they tried to fix it. But this is just based on what Enderman can grab in the overworld, and then in the Nether. Ooh, tongue twister, I guess. So you would find little mycelium, dirt, sand, and gravel, and I think, since the Endermen, according to Minecraft's, what's it called, bestiary, or explains the mobs, they're supposed to be really smart, like almost comparable to the player. It'd be cool to find like different colored concretes outside, with the exception of like black, green, lime green, cyan, and brown. But like all these concretes can be crafted just by using the dyes from flowers. And so you'd have these little things outside where they're trying to figure out how to make it, or arranging gravel and concrete in different ways. But I mean, black, you'd have to go find a squid or a wither rose, which it'd be really weird if they. Neither of those make sense for them to be able to find, because squids live in water. And the green and lime green and cyan, you need green dye, which you have to cook a cactus, which doesn't seem like a mechanic they'd really do. But everything else here, it would just show like it would give the Enderman more lore without, changing any behavior or anything. They would just have these different colored concrete stacks. And yeah, brown is cocoa beans. But so inside here, this is kind of all designed around how an Enderman sees. And for those that don't know, Endermen see in negative, and I'll put some pictures on here after I'll run through, and then I'm just kind of stopping here. This is outside the front, the bottom floor, and then up here. But yeah, this is just an Ender Barn where it kind of, all the stuff that they can grab, they just kind of throw around. And I think they should be able to grab mushrooms and warped root, or whatever those blocks are they grow. Crimson wort and wart. I don't remember if that's what they're called, but yeah, and hay bales. They might be able to grab hay bales. I honestly can't remember, but so this would be the top floor. Here you can see they've figured out how to grow a cactus, but they also, since they can grab cactus, maybe, but they don't know how to cook it to get the green dye. But it just kind of show that the Endermen are a little bit smarter than they let on throughout the game. But so yeah, here's another view, and I'll just stop here for a second, and I will put in my negative clips now, so you can see how an Enderman would see this thing. All right. Okay, hopefully I've gotten through them all. And I think also, along with the sounds for the Enderdew, the Enderbeast, and the Endomorph, I've created some new background music that should have been playing probably a long time ago, but I hope you like that as well. Now we are on to the Ender Caves, and these started out as a really cool idea in my head, but I couldn't figure out what to put in them. So this just kind of went to the wayside. I got one thing in there I really like, but again, the crying obsidian throughout, and I think the wet sponge in here, it would just be on the floor, it wouldn't be on the sides, but it would be scattered, because this is supposed to be kind of a shrine the Enderman made, so it's like, it's treacherous to get in, at least for them, and in their mind it would be, keeps out hostile people, or hostile whatever, I don't know, but there'd be a mob in here called the Drovo Whim, which is just void worms letters mixed around. And this one, again, I don't know what drops. Maybe you guys can leave comments or whatnot. I don't know drops or anything. This is another one. The idea was there. I just wanted an eyeball on a worm's body, but I didn't think at all what its function would be, what it would do, what it would drop, anything like that. It was just literally, I just thought of this part of it. So maybe you guys can come up with something really cool for that. But you come through the caves, and occasionally you come across this, which would be an end shrine, and this would be something left over from the Enderman. This is, that's just building materials. But this is a mini puzzle of sorts. There's 4 flower pots here. I think it would just be something new, maybe like a purple textured flower pot, I don't know. And correspond with these. These are actually from the Minecraft, I don't remember what it's called, Galactic something alphabet or whatever. It's the symbols that you see in the enchanting table and throughout Minecraft. It's basically a correlated, like, 1-to-1 alphabet, but this is H, O, M, E, and yeah, these flower pots, they have a different texture, and they'd be mixed up, so you'd have to put them in the right order, and they'd have little, the same sort of symbols on them, and there'd be like a clue here. We are once, now go where, back is through. It's supposed to be sort of a weird Enderman poem that relates to home, because H-O-M-E spells home. So you put those all in order, and then there'd be a door here that opens up, and it's in my hand. You get the rune stone. But this rune stone is where you get the void essence, but it would look like this. It would have, just different chiseled in things sticking out. So it'd be a really cool building block, but it would also be where you get void essence to trade with Endmonger. So I think it's just a cool, this is like a straight thing that's just all about the lore without much not adding much to the game, just deepening the Enderman side of things. This one and the Ender Barn, but so yeah, this keeps going. Come through here, and yeah, the dripping obsidian would create little stalactites and stalagmites on the ground and ceiling. I never know which one's which. And you come up to the end here, and this is an opening, but it's the Crystal Cave. And now that the Amethyst Geode is coming out, maybe this would be a place Amethyst could actually, there could be an Amethyst Geode in there. This is one, it started, all I could think of was the end crystals, and I didn't even know what they'd look like, but I just knew they needed something. So I kind of just started overhauling this with different blocks, and ended up not really liking it at all. But I keep it in here just as more of the idea behind it rather than a full new upgrade or anything. But yeah, just a really different feeling biome, and there'd be these giant crystals or maybe amethyst geodes that would be in here. That's really all I have for end caves. Like I said, it started out as an idea and it just never took off as I was building. So next, okay, I thought I was gonna fall off for a second. I died a few times. I didn't know you died in creative when you fell through the void, but I guess it makes total sense. The next one is down here, and it's the Ender Star. No, I'm just kidding. That's Ant City. It's over here, and this one, I think it'd be a much bigger thing. It would have that look. That's all I was going for, was the look on this. These little, tiny little outer islands, like maybe they'd just be called corrupted islands or something. But it would have this big, in the middle of it, this big nether, or did I say nether star? I meant ender star. It'd be this big biome that you could mine into, and that's where you would find more of the rune stone on the inside of it. So this would actually be the place to go. I mean, caves you would find some, like with the end shrine and just scattered about the rune stone. But here you would mine in, and then you could really find the rune stone in. Or maybe a new block type, like a void essence, where if you put, it'd be the equivalent to putting like 4 of those in a square or 9 of those in a crafting table. But I like the way this one turned out a lot. It was really hard to build out here. I had to bridge from that island. I needed to keep it out of sight enough. But this biome here, the Ender Star, would be very rare. And it would be like, even this is too close, because you can still see it from under that end portal over there. But yeah, to find this thing, you basically have to fly off over a void for a really long time. I don't know if it'd be between the main island that's 1,000 blocks away and the end islands, or if there'd just be giant void openings within the end. But it would be, yeah, it would be way out there. You just have to take off with an elytra or maybe the void slug and ride it out until you found it, and it would be rare on top of that. So I mean, there'd have to be other good loot, and I don't know what that would be. But yeah, it'd just take forever to find one of those things. Kind of like a mycelium island in the Ulfra world. I mean, you could look it up, but I mean, just to come across one would be extremely, extremely rare. But anyways, that's all I have. Again, all the music and weird mob sounds I came up with for this one. This one was really fun. I had probably I might do a second round of this once I get started on something else. But yeah, I had a lot more ideas that just didn't make it into this video. But anyways, I was Joshua's Prime. Like if you like the video. If you want to comment with any names or drop ideas or other mob ideas, feel free to do that, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.